Hey, what's up, people? Back again. It's a Science Advancements podcast show. Welcome to the Science Advancements. Welcome to the Science Exploration Zambia YouTube channel. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe this video. Yeah, so whenever we have a video, make sure that you share it, like, and subscribe. Especially, don't forget to subscribe. Yeah, so again, we are back with the boys. Welcome, guys.
Hi everyone, and all the views.
Hi everyone.
Yeah, so we are back with the boys again, regular. So we're supposed to have two guys here, but unfortunately, due to some technical errors or faults, the guys were not able to join us. So last week we had a very, very interesting topic of discussion. We looked at the syllabus structure and how it can help improve fields such as tech and other fields that are related to science. So today we're going to be talking about the industry. What does the industry expect from science experts that are in different science fields? Yeah. So, guys, some interesting topic to discuss. What are your thoughts on that?
Very much.
Maybe you guys could quickly throw in your thoughts on that. I don't know who's going to pick it up first, but I want you guys to give your thoughts on that topic of discussion.
Hold on, it's gonna go first though.
Yeah, I think what industries requires these days, like in scientists that are, I don't know, newly graduates from school that are going into the industry. The first thing they look at is the educational background. They look at your education, if you have a degree or something. And the second thing they look at is the skills that you have, because you might have that degree, right? And you don't have the skills that the industry requires for you to like perform a specific job. So I think for I would just mention those two things, like they require the educational background and the skills for you to be admitted in one industry.
Okay, my view is kind of different from his, but it's almost the same. I think the skills, you need to have more skills than more being practical. I mean, being practical than knowing the theory part. Yeah, so I think for the industry, what they really look for is the skills that you have on how you can solve things. So let's say, for example, if I don't know why I always give an example of programmers, but anyway, yeah, if a programmer, you're looking for a job, yeah, you go to a company, and then the first thing they'll give you is a problem to solve that problem. So let's say you know all the theory part about how to solve the program, how you know how to go about it. But if you can't do it physically, then you won't get the job. So I think you need the educational background and you also need the skill. But the skill should be more, because the more skills, the more problems you would solve. Yeah, so that's what I would say. But like one of the requirements based on what Odin has just said.
Okay, so some interesting stuff over there, huh? Which is very true.
Yeah.
I agree with you guys 100%. These are entry requirements, especially the educational background. You're not going to go into the system and without a track record of being in school. It's difficult, especially if you look at the jobs that are in the industry today. You talk of the engineering industry. You really need to have a sort of qualification that qualifies you for that particular job. And now, Odin mentioned something, and Salim, you also said something that's very vital. And maybe this is one of the things that the industry has been expecting from a lot of engineers over the years. Not only engineers, even people that are in other fields. The industry is looking for people that have the practical skill, people that can apply the things that they've learned. It's one thing to know and it's one thing to apply. I made to know that Newton's third law of motion states that uh, for a force applied, there's an equal or opposite reaction, isn't it? I don't know if,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
now the thing is, they give me a problem. They give me a practical problem. What they're expecting from me is for me to know, okay, this is the problem, using my skill, my practical skill, or they tell me identify this problem, not using the theoretical mindset, but using the practical skill, how I have been trained practically. Another example that I'm going to give is, for example, just like Salim put it, you go in the industry, quite all right, you know, you've got that theory mindset saying, okay, when carbon dioxide and oxygen reacts, I mean, when carbon and oxygen maybe burn in air together, what they form is what? It's carbon dioxide. But now they're not telling you to apply what you know, they're telling you to do what you know. They've given you they've given you carbon, and they've given you oxygen in the lab. Now they want you to do what you learned. So I think the problem that a lot of people have had over the years is that they have lacked the practical skill. The practical skill has lacked in a lot of people. So it's very hard for them now to apply, because they have been programmed to think in a way to say, okay, I just know. I don't know.
Can I interrupt you a little bit?
Okay, no problem.
Can I
Yeah,
interrupt?
no problem.
So this is what I thought, right? This is what I think.
Yeah.
Like, look, right? You have the practical part and the theoretical part.
Yeah.
And these are two different things whereby people need to concentrate. Like you need to have both for you to go in the industry, right? As I said before, right? You need the educational background, the skills background, which is like the practical background, right? It's very hard these days if you have the skills to get a job in an industry. It's very hard. Like, I don't know if you know that.
What
It's
you mean?
very hard
You
these
mean
days if
you
you have a
mean
job to get in. Like, if you have the skills, but you don't have that educational background to get in the industry.
Yeah.
Okay,
Like, that's what I mean.
Okay, you guys, I'm just gonna back out of this. You know, like I personally don't agree with that.
No, look, it's very hard for you to get in to get a job if you have the practical skills and you don't have that educational background. I don't know if you get what I mean.
Okay, this is how I see it, yo. This is how I see it, yeah. I would say, okay, I would just say, don't just. I think just think outside the box. If you want, like what you're saying, yeah, what you're saying is totally true. But
yeah,
if you want to, let me say, if you want to, what example can I give? Okay, the same old example. The programmer, yeah. If you want to a good programmer, you have to, I think, research more on how to do it. I think, practice more, because I'll give an example of, Tesla, yeah, owned by Elon Musk.
Oh
They
yeah,
asked him a
Tesla.
question. They asked him a question. They're like, "Who would you employ? Someone who's got a degree in programming, or someone who's got better skills in programming?" And then it was like, as long as you've got the skills, you can come, even if you don't have a degree. So, and then you can also look at it in these lines where he just never had a degree, but he just practiced on the software parts. Then he became a better person. Even Mark Zuckerberg, they also talk. So I think the degree is really important.
I'm not contradicting what you're saying. I'm not contradicting what you're saying. Quite all right. You might get a job if you have the practical, like the skills and the practical thing, right? Quite right, you might get a job.
Oh, but in Africa, it's
no, like I don't know, the validation, right? The validation, even here in the United States, right? The validation is like someone who has a degree and the skills is more like they give, like, I don't know, they just trust him, right? Because someone went to school and then they come and then they apply, they just give him the job, right? For you have to like work harder to get that job because you only have the practical part. Or maybe if you want to get that job, you have to have like your CV. Maybe you've worked at some big companies way back. But if it's the first job that you're applying for, someone who has a degree and the practical part is most, I don't know, is most, I don't know, is the one who they're going to choose for that job.
On that part, I totally agree. I agree. But the thing,
because the system is designed like that. I don't know, Caleb, what do you think?
For me, for me, the way it is, for example, I've got a company, and for me, I think I don't have a problem with hiring someone who doesn't like have a degree, because at the end of the day, I'm looking for someone who's going to deliver. I'm looking for someone who's going to deliver, someone that's going to take my that's going to make my business advance. I'm not looking for a person who's going to like have that proper English. Yeah, you talking about forces and everything. I need someone who's going to apply everything.
Something just came in my mind right now, Caleb. Something just came in my mind right now. It depends with the degree that you have. It comes from which university, because yeah, the university also matters. That's on that point. I'm telling you the truth. It's not any degree that will give you any job, because you have a degree and you think you can get any job. I don't know. Like that's
I want to disagree. I want to disagree, and I've got points. And I've got grounds of why I'm disagreeing. You know, the thing here is nowadays, I think the university part, now people have stopped looking at universities. I'm not saying from without. I've seen people with good degrees coming from the highest learning institution in our country, but still don't have jobs. People from small universities that you don't even know or think of, but they have that practical skill. Have you observed, maybe if you know, do you know that here in Zambia, there's this NOTEC? Do you know NOTEC? Do you know that NOTEC is considered to be the best engineering school in the country, despite UNZA and CBU being in existence? The reason why they'll tell you that UNZA and CBU are the best universities is because, you know, there's just that pride to say, okay, UNZA and CBU. But you cannot compare an engineer that graduates from NOTEC and an engineer that will graduate from UNZA. Talk of practical ability. The guy from NOTEC, the guys from NOTEC are good. The guys from NOTEC are good. The reputation isn't that easy. Even when companies are hiring, most companies would prefer getting an engineer from NOTEC than an engineer from UNZA. And do you know the difference? An engineer from NOTEC has got a diploma, and then an engineer from UNZA has a degree. You've seen? So the thing is, yes, the educational background has to be there, but the delivery is the most important thing, because that's what the industry is looking for.
Yeah, it is. On that point, I agree. It is the most important thing. Like I just said, that I agree that thing is the most important. The practical and the delivery thing is the most important thing, right? But you also need to have that educational background. It's very important to have.
Okay, you know, I want to. Maybe let me give you let me give your point a backbone. Huh? Salim, wait before you come in. I want to agree with this guy so that he doesn't think as if I'm trying to disagree. You know, yeah, it's true. Because a person that makes a good engineer is a person who combines both theory and the practical abilities. Because do you know what's happening? I don't know if do you know what Steve Jobs would do? A lot of people thought Steve Jobs was the guy that was behind everything at Apple. But the reality there is that Steve Jobs is a guy that had the ideas and brought programmers that had the skill. Yeah. So there are people that are just good at practical skill. They've got the practical ability, but they can't think outside the box. You know?
Yeah.
I can write a code today. I can write a design of how I want a certain program to be, or how I want a certain software to be. The person that will design that software, their range of thinking cannot be at the same level as me. For them, it's even hard to think of, okay, how can I just even design and come up with something that's brilliant? So if you combine these two, your theoretical abilities and the practical abilities, you become a powerful engineer. And it's the industry is looking for such people. The industry, though mainly the industry is going to look for someone who's got the skill. But again, the entry requirement for a person in the industry is educational background, just like Odon put it. But if we're going to look at someone being exceptional, we're going to look at a combination of these two, because you can have the skill, but you do not have the ability. That's why Elon Musk says
and those exceptional, like out of 100, you only find one. Out of 100, you only find one. If you pick 100 people, you only find that one person is exceptional.
But that's a problem. That's why we're having the problem that we're having is that the people that are running the world today are theoretical thinkers. That's the thing. That's the truth.
Yeah, that's true. Like that. Just
I agree on that. I totally agree.
Because Elon Musk, Elon Musk is phenomenal. Yeah, he's got a track record of doing physics and everything. But the guy just sits, and I don't know if you guys have heard of this. What this guy did? Huh? um, when he was hiring engineers, he was looking at people that are not married, because for him it was just a startup company, and it was like, okay, what if I have problems, and then these guys are expecting me to pay them, and they want to feed their families. So for him, he was looking for people who are not married, people that were going to be focused on the vision, people that were going to put the eye on the ball. So there was that entrepreneurship mindset. But for him, you made blood physicist, yes, but the practical ability is not there. But you now have the knowledge, and you incorporate the guys with the skill. So to put it, I would say, maybe for me, I would end with this before you guys giving your last say. For me, I would say it is relevant that the industry accommodates both theoretical thinkers and the ones that have got the practical ability. But definitely what the industry is looking for is people that are going to deliver, because the industry already has people that think. So when you go into the industry, you already find a problem. The fact that there's a problem there, meaning that there are thinkers that have brought that problem for you to solve. So above all, your practical abilities must um, be greater than your what? Your yeah, your
Yeah.
yeah. And
Yeah.
So
and your battery is low. Your battery is low.
yeah.
It's just
So
indicated.
let me just get my charge. I'll join you guys. Just give me 2 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Okay. So my view, like what you say, you like I don't know. Like I've always thought of this in this. Like I've always thought of being outside the system. Yeah. If you want to do something of your own, or if you want to do something better, I think you should just do it outside the system. Because if you look at the way the system is, like the system is programmed. Like there are steps you need to take for you to do something. But if you do things on your own, let me say, for example, like you want to do something, yeah. Maybe say you want to start a company, for example.
Yeah,
Yeah?
yeah.
They'll tell you, oh, you have to do this, you have to do this. But if you do things on your own, I think it'll be better. Because even studying, I would say, yeah, studying, it's more like you study to know, yeah. You study to know and apply what you know. So if you follow the system, and then the system is telling you this and this, then you end up learning what you don't want to. You get. So the whole thing is that I think you should try to balance the whole thing when you just like say if you want to like you want to start working, it will be very easy for you to know exactly what you want to do because like you've been doing them for quite some time. So have have some time where okay, I want to be having like 3 hours just programming. I want to have my own like you just create time for yourself. At least you become better because some universities, like you've said, back home, I'll say in Zambia, some of the universities they don't have more practicals here like like what you compared the University of Zambia and Nordic, there's a huge difference on how they conduct the practicals here. So at least if you have a platform where you can do it on your own, I think you should also just step out the box, just try to do it on your own. I think you'll be more better in those lines. You become more practical because at least you also just depend on the system, then you won't go anywhere. You'll be just complaining. At least you have to take the move.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, that is true. Like I would like, I don't know to say lastly, I think do guys agree that both things are required, the practical part and the theoretical part, and then you have those exceptional, those genius guy who only know the practical part and get the job. Do you
Yeah.
agree? Yeah, I think.
Yeah, but yeah, I would say yeah, the practical part there, the
Yeah.
skills there, but
Okay. Okay, so
yeah,
it's been interesting just having to talk about all this, and I think someone out there now will have a different view of how they look at this whole thing, like what the industry requires. Maybe because people have been debating, okay, what does the industry really want? I hope this podcast is really, really going to help someone out there know what they should consider first. But definitely, you just have to have both, because sometimes you just don't have to have that practical ability, but for you to be exceptional and know it all. You have to have that ability to think. That's why we've given examples of Elon Musk. We've talked about Steve Jobs. And today, look at even Bill Gates. The guy he just thinks, huh? Look at Zuckerberg. Zuckerberg, the guy just talks about, okay, I want Facebook shops. I want a new update. I want this feature on Facebook. And it's the programmers and the engineers that are doing that for him. He's the mind behind Facebook, you know, but he just thinks, you know. And look at Samsung. I don't know if you guys have heard this. Samsung pays 50,000 people just to think. Imagine you're just being paid to think.
How old is that, bro?
for the next project, like, okay, if we have, okay, what phone are we going to be designing? So you're just supposed to sit there and think, come up with a design, do everything. Because you know, you won't even have the pressure to say, you just be saying, I want it to be powering like this. The pressure is now for those with the ability. So it's a two-way thing.
Yeah.
But looking at how, like at how African systems are, industries in Africa, and even in other countries across Europe, America, and everywhere, you need to have the ability, the practical ability. Practical ability comes first, especially in an African country. In an African country, my friend, your theoretical sense or ideas, that's just sarcasm to the people that will be interviewing you. What they want is just you to apply what you've learned. They'll give you problems for you to solve them, complex problems for you to solve them. So thank you very much for everyone who's going to be watching this podcast. We've talked too much. Hopefully you get to learn one or two things from this. Make sure that you share this video, subscribe, leave a comment, give us your thoughts on what we discussed today. So it's been your boys, Odon Mulambo, Aaron Salim, Caleb Munemo. Till next week, Wednesday, again, we're going to be back and we're going to have another interesting topic. So make sure you also listen to these podcasts on our audio podcast platforms, different platforms which are going to be provided. There's going to be a flyer that's going to be provided at the end of the video so that you guys do watch. And don't forget to catch Louis on the High School Hub on Friday with Chela Maivune. Check you out. Thank you very much, guys. See you.